background-ից ոնց մենք չենք կարող իրենք տեսնել, բայց հարցը փորձեմ ուղղել ձեզ։ Երբ այստեղ էր Եվրամիության խորհրդի ղեկավար Տուսկը, նա հայտարարեց, ասաց, որ Հայաստանին այս տարի ցուցաբերվող օժանդակությունը, եթե չեմ սխալվում, 2 անգամ ավելացել է 19 թվականին, սակայն պարոն Տուսկը թիվ չնշեց։ Եթե ձեզ մոտ հիմա կա այդ թիվը, խնդրում եմ նշեք, եւ այսպիսի մի հարց հեղափոխությունից հետո շատերը Հայաստանում ակնկալում էին, որ մասնավորապես Եվրամիության աջակցությունը կլինի մոտավորապես նույն մակարդակի, ինչ որ մենք տեսանք Վրաստանի դեպքում Վարդերի հեղափոխությունից հետո, սակայն նմանց ավելի օգնություն կարծես թե աջակցություն կարծես թե մենք աջակցության ականատեսը չեղանք։ Ինչ է սա նշանակում եւ արդյոք առաջիկայում հնարավոր է փոխվի այս առումով Եվրամիության դիրքորոշումը։ Շնորհակալություն։
What President Tusk referred to is the following. In the past years, the average level of our annual support to Armenia within the so-called bilateral programming was 35 million euros. And that means that we are talking about bilateral programming inscribed into our annual action plan. For 2019, this level of support will reach 70 million euros. And as I said, this is only the bilateral part. The bilateral part, because there is a multilateral channel, Eastern Partnership, and other funds that the European Union is using to support our neighbors. Here I'm referring only to the bilateral, so-called bilateral envelope. So we are moving from 35 to 70 million for 2019. We are in very constructive discussions with the government where to put this money. I believe by the end of the year we will formalize all the necessary papers. I will not disclose now which direction we are heading, but this money, this 70 million euros, will find its way to very concrete projects. So these are the figures, but let me use your question also to inform our friends from the media community that we are moving very well forward in finding the best implementation mode for the list of priority projects submitted by Prime Minister Pashinyan in Brussels when he visited Brussels in March. You remember the list? I can report to you that my collaborators from the EU delegation and my colleagues from Brussels have had very long discussions with the Armenian counterparts in the government, and we are moving forward to find the best way of financing these priority projects and implementing them. I don't want to go into detail unless you are interested. You have any specific questions on any of these priority projects, but I want to tell you I'm very satisfied that we are really making very good progress. So that's about the figures. Concerning our level of support. The European Union is very transparent, and indeed what we are talking now about with your government is to think in terms of future planning. The European Union will be starting now very, let's say, technical already discussions on the next multi-annual financial framework. We know what we have available till 2021, but what will happen after 2021 will be now discussed in Brussels. And it is very important for Armenia that this level of support, which for 2019 is unprecedentedly high, is sustained in the future. What are the factors? First, the pace of reforms. As I mentioned, this year Armenia benefited from the umbrella fund in a big way, but what will be the next year, whether the Armenian reforms will have the same level of recognition in Brussels, is an open question. If the pace of reforms in Armenia is maintained, then my reply will be yes. You can count on a comparable level of support. The second, of course, element is your plans. Because, as I tried to explain many months ago, the European Union is working on the basis of concrete plans, doable things. If we have from Armenia a very, say, precise list of needs, then we can tune the financial support of the European Union well to the needs. And we have to look forward, as I mentioned. We have to have a vision extending into the future. The third is absorption capacity. We need the funds which are already available, well used. You probably all remember the figure from last year, maybe it was the same time, July 2018, when I mentioned the figure of 150 million euros unused money. Money which was committed to Armenia, but for different reasons was not used before. And if Armenia is interested in the high level of support that we are offering this year, in the coming years, this absorption capacity should be at a good level. Meaning the funds committed should be used. I am looking into the future with optimism, because the discussions so far with our partners in several line ministries are giving us the right reasons to feel optimistic.